One Nation leader and founder Pauline Hanson joins me now from Scenic Rim in Queensland. Good to talk to you, Pauline. Have you been logging into all the dire warnings of catastrophe coming from Egypt, from the United Nations and all the politicians gathered there?
It's unbelievable what's been coming out of there, Chris, and we knew to expect this from the last one that they had in Copenhagen, what to expect with this one, but it just boggles my mind what they're coming up with. Now, under the new government that we have, under the Labor government, we're on a trajectory to actually destroy our economy and the cost of living for ordinary Australians out there who can't afford it anymore, and they're really hurting. For the Labor government to go over there, Pat Conroy and Chris Bowen, and say that we're going to then start giving money, agree to the fact of giving money to third world countries to prop them up, considering that we have been giving foreign aid for the past, 30 or 40 years, and we've given them all this money because they're considered a third world country. Do we consider China or India as a third world country? I don't see why we should or be propping them up if they put their hand up for this money.
This is the extraordinary thing, Pauline. We've done a lot. Sorry, Australia and most Western liberal democracies have been very generous with foreign aid and continue to be. This is talking about reparations on top of that. And the idea that China, whose incredible military expansion, its very expensive military expansion, is threatening the whole of this hemisphere, that we should then pay them extra money over climate change, it's an obscenity.
It is obscenity and it's actually a joke, but we've headed down this path of the ideology cult that is not based on true science with regards to this climate change BS that we're actually going through at the moment. But I blame the people of Australia for that. You know, if it wasn't for Sky, your programs, and especially yours, Chris, you explain the situation to people about the climate change, and so does Rowan Dean and Paul Murray and different ones all put out there the facts, but the majority of Australians don't have a Sky and they can't get a clear understanding. And this
they're being told, Pauline. They're being told, exactly. They're being told by politicians and journalists all the time that the temperature's going off the scale, that natural disasters are more prevalent than ever before. It's just not true.
And that's all on computer modelling, Chris, and I've been saying this for years. Everything's based on computer modelling. All these scientists peer review themselves. The IPCC has been called out for telling friggin' lies, and yet the public keep heading down this path. You keep voting for these ratbags, these idiots, and Victoria's probably likely to return Andrews, plus also the Greens are going to pick up another 3 lower house seats. So go figure. Until the people of this country, I say, really hurt, because I'll tell you where you're going to head. With the power prices, Zambia, they actually have to buy their electricity, it's on a card, before they actually use it. So if you actually run out on that card, you don't get any more electricity. A lot of states in South Africa, 70% of the people don't have electricity. So the kids can't study at night, you don't have lights, you don't have electricity, you don't have fridges, you don't have everything. That is where we are headed. Are the public ready for that? Are you in that much fear that the whole planet is coming to an end?
That's when we'll wake up, that we will face more dramatic energy shortages and prices will continue to go up and people will have to focus on the facts, and the media's got to play a much bigger role in that instead of trumpeting all this alarmist nonsense. Just on another issue before I let you go, Pauline, the Labor's IR bill got through the House, raced through the House today, dropped in and through it goes. The Senate is where all the action will happen. What do you expect to happen there?
It comes down to David Pocock. I think he's out of his league. I just don't think he understands fully about the position that he's in. He's not just running the ACT. His decision is going to be for the whole of Australia and the impact it's going to have on them. He said he needs more time, but the fact is that he has to understand the impact this IR bill is going to have on businesses, big business right across the board with the enterprise bargaining, and big businesses have contacted me. They don't want to have a one-size-fits-all for enterprise bargaining. They've worked hard for their staff, they've looked after their staff, and they do not want to be told how to run their businesses. And I agree. Most of the politicians, Chris, have never, ever employed staff, run a business. I have. And I understand this. And the unions have taken over the Labor Party. They've paid for their election to win their seats. Unions are running this country with only 14% of the public in a union. So until the people wake up, you're going to suffer and jobs will go.
I think you're right. We're
jobs will go.
We are headed for some tough years ahead. There's no doubt about it. Thanks for joining us, Pauline. Pauline Hanson there with a grim assessment on where we're heading with IR and climate and energy policy. I hate to say it, she is dead right. We're on the wrong track here.